Right, all right. Welcome to the DJ Julius Show. I'm here live in the studio. We are going Facebook Live with this, so we're waiting for some folks to join us on Facebook Live. For all you guys in Radio Land out there on Statesvegas Radio listening to us, welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate you listening to Statesvegas Radio. And if you're listening to us on our app, we appreciate the fact that you downloaded the app. If you haven't downloaded the app and you're listening, please go to the App Store or Google Play and download that app. We need lots of apps downloaded for Statesvegas Radio. We just celebrated 1 year. 1 year. A couple days ago, 1 year in business with Statesvegas Radio. If you call it a business, I mean I've lost money every month. So I don't know if I can call it a business if I've lost money every month. But I've had a lot of good fun with it. Met a lot of cool cats, and we're getting there. You know, we're getting them listeners. We're getting some attention. I think people are starting to know the Statesvegas name, which the Statesvegas name was already out there. If you guys don't know already, it was Statesvegas Clothing Company. Our good friend Kevin Head and used the trademarked Statesvegas name. We're blessed to have those guys on the team, and I'm thankful for letting me use that name. And it's been a year, so here we are, 1 year later, and I got these two good-looking fellas in the studio.
Well, I think it's pretty cool. You're helping get the music scene going out there and promoting it and doing it's really good scene around the area now. But a lot better than it was years ago. For sure. It's really popping now.
I'm with you, man. There's a lot of great musicians in Statesville and in the whole area, North Carolina in general. Yeah. You know, we were talking about it on our show last week. We had the hip hop guys, and they were talking about one of the biggest hip hop artists around right now is from Charlotte, Baby. So North Carolina definitely has the scene, Back in the day, we had Sugar Creek and
and what
was it, White Firehouse?
Firehouse still rocks.
But what were they? White Heat. Yeah. You guys are old school like me, man.
Oh, man, we're back to Reliable Music days.
Yeah, Reliable Music days. So, we had Daryl Harwood in here, and Chip Coleman plays in his band.
Right.
So he was back.
Yeah, Chip's awesome.
Yeah, Chip's a good guy. Oh, JD just joined us.
JD's up.
JD gets more plugs on this on Statesvegas Radio than anybody. We talk about him all the time, and for a good reason. I mean, he's got the great Apps and Taps going on down in Mooresville, and you guys are going to be playing there pretty soon. But March 30th, Saturday night.
Nice and loud.
I guess I need to tell my listeners who you are. We haven't even got to that part. I haven't even introduced you. I'm too busy blabbing about other things. But once again, welcome to all you listeners out there on Facebook. I am in the studio with the great Killer Khan. And we got Ron Dalton and Wayne Ritchie. Wayne Ritchie, basically vocals, guitar, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then Ron.
I strangled my guitar.
Ron's the lead guitar player, rhythm player, whatever. So
I abuse it and make noise. It's just fun.
I'm guessing that a lot of people out there on Facebook land that might not realize that they know who you are, but they've probably seen one of your videos on Facebook because, I mean, you guys were for a while there. What was that, last year, the year before when those things hit?
Last couple of years we had them.
Last couple of years, they really blew up Facebook and YouTube with a couple of cool music videos. One of them, Last Train to Rio. You guys were up on top of a building or something? It was
my house over in Taylorsville.
In Taylorsville, but weren't you up on the roof or something?
Well, the house is up on a mountain.
Yeah.
So we're looking out the back of the house.
Now, isn't there a radio station on that mountain? Is that near you, or is that a different mountain in Taylorsville?
I think that's a different mountain.
There used to be a radio station on top of a mountain in Taylorsville.
Yeah, I call you king of the hill of Taylorsville. There, it's the only hill in Taylorsville. You can see forever.
So you're the king of the hill.
It's the first mountain. So everything south and southeast is flat. So that's the reason it looked like it was up on a rooftop.
But if any of you guys are out there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube and put in Killer Khan, and I'm sure the video will pop right up, and you might recognize it after you.
Normally, as you put in Killer Khan band,
Killer
pull it
Khan
up.
band.
Yeah,
okay,
there is a wrestler back in the '70s, Killer Khan.
That's right. Yeah.
He was pretty popular back then. That's for sure.
Killer. What was he, like Asian or something, or is
He
it
was
like
a big
sumo wrestler?
He was a big guy, and he's always fighting Terry Gordy.
Yep.
that is some old school wrestling right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of our young pups on Facebook will remember that or not.
Oh, I'm sure they'll go back and watch it on some of the clips on YouTube.
Yeah. But anyway, check out that video. It's definitely cool. Now, that came off of the album Global Killer.
The Global Killer album, and it's like it got like 3 million hits on Facebook before Facebook took it down.
Why did Facebook take it down?
They would not give me an explanation.
Really? But the views were on Facebook. What about YouTube? Because supposedly you're supposed to get money if it's on YouTube and it gets a lot of views.
Yeah, I didn't have it on YouTube.
Really?
It was just on Facebook.
You need to put it on there.
I think Bryce put it on there.
Yeah, I think he did.
I've seen it on YouTube before, so I think it is there somewhere, but not necessarily on the Killer Con channel. No. You don't have your own channel for it.
Right, so. Right. I don't think I ever loaded it up.
Speaking of channels, Statesvegas Radio does have a YouTube channel, and we've got 30 whole subscribers. But, well, some people are watching the videos on there, but they're not subscribing. So if you go watch a video, including this one will be on there in its entirety. Subscribe to
Statesvegas.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got, I tell people all the time, it's kind of like an archive. And if you look at some of the shows that we did early on, like, the first couple months, you can see a tiny bit of progression. We've gotten a little bit better. We still have quite a ways to go with the production, I think. And stuff. Yeah, we're working the bugs out. But some of the shows were great. They were funny, hilarious. We were just talking about the show we did with Brian. I did quite a few shows with him.
Yeah.
And we had some good, heavier bands in here. Divine Treachery and Annabelle Lee and a couple other heavy bands. We had a great time with them.
Yeah, it's really good seeing all these bands around here just getting more popular and playing more and actually traveling a little bit, going down, further south. Those guys came in playing around
from Greensboro to see us, man. I was amazed that somebody. I was talking about Daryl Harwood earlier. He came up and that guy's got like 60, 70 gigs already booked for 2019. He came up here to me to be interviewed, and I was like, Daryl, why did you have nothing to gain by coming here? Mm-hmm. But he came, and so I definitely feel blessed to have him because he, and he had no reason. And you guys really don't either. I mean, I'm sure you'll fill the house down there at Apps and Taps.
Oh, it should be interesting, that's for sure. It's always good to get out there and play some live stuff.
All right. Now, the Apps and Taps show, March 30th, Saturday night, is who's on the bill? Is that just a single bill? Is it you the only band, or is it
Killer Con? And we have a Ozzy Dio tribute thing we do.
So I know you do the Ozzy tribute band. Do you start out with that and then Killer Con, or is it the Killer Con? Then
no, we did the Killer Con first.
You open up for Ozzy.
Yeah.
Well, everybody drink.
I guess I got to.
Well, let everybody drink real good before I start trying to do Randy Rhoads.
Really. You might need a few beers back. Now you said Dio. Have you always? I know you do a lot of the Ozzy stuff. Have you done Dio in the past?
We've had an 80s tribute metal band forever.
Well, I know you didn't do Priest. You did some Priest stuff.
Well, you played a show with us, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we played up at Marty's, wasn't it?
Now, what's
Amos's and Marty's?
That's right.
What's harder to sing, Ozzy or Dio?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think the Dio is harder to sing.
I think pretty much.
Yeah, that little joker had some pipes.
Yeah, I don't think you get no argument from anybody with that. All you folks on Facebook Live that are checking us out, if anybody's got any comments to make, any questions for the guys with Killer Corn. This guy's going to be trouble. I can see it. All right.
I was going to eat some corn earlier. I'm so glad.
Well, anyway, what was I saying again? If you have anything to ask or you want to make any wisecracks like Ron here, feel free to chime in on Facebook Live.
That'll be our parody band.
We're here with Ron Dalton and Wayne Ritchie with Killer Con. So we were talking about the show. You start off with the Killer Con show, and then you go into the Ozzy and Dio thing, finish off that. But it's no other bands, no.
No, they you don't have had us set it up where it's an hour and a half of the Killer Con. That's about basically 15 songs. Right. And then we take a break and come back out, and it's an hour of the Dio and Ozzy thing.
Now, when you do the Ozzy thing, do you do the whole? Do you do a costume change? Or I don't want to call it a costume, but
Well, if we were doing the whole night, I might would.
But you just.
Oh, he's come out with some crazy costumes.
I've seen some. Well, I'll be honest with you. You know, and I got a funny story too, because I don't know how you guys got together or anything, but I remember getting a message from your bass player, Bryce Sandall, and he asked me if I knew anybody that could sing like Ozzy. Now, I don't know. I know you've known Bryce for a long time. So are you pretty new to Bryce? Have you?
I've played Dan Fest every year. So.
Yeah.
He asked me if I knew anybody that sang like maybe you think he was looking to replace you?
Could have been.
Well, see, at the time, I wasn't familiar with you, and I've known Bryce, and I've known of Ron, but I don't know him personally. But yeah, he asked me that, and I was like, man. Never gonna find nobody that sounds like Ozzy. Good luck with that. But the first time I heard you, I was like, "Dang, you Bryce found the guy." You know, so right. I don't. But I do think that was before he joined Killer Khan. So I mean, it must have been.
Well, we're always in and out of band.
Yeah,
and it could have been anytime.
Gosh, I know. I remember you singing Black Sabbath stuff back when, mid '80s, something like that. I know it was.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, we even played up here at the Hobos uptown.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day.
See, I don't know how I missed that because I was
third floor. You had to go through the kitchen.
That was downtown.
Yeah, you had to go through the kitchen to get to the elevator.
The old Broad Street.
Yeah,
I remember that. I went to many shows there. As a matter of fact, Jody played there with when he played with Prime Suspect and Derek's band was Exciter. That was the one. Which is not the real Exciter. I think it was before the internet, so they couldn't look up, who had the Exciter name at the time. So they named their band Exciter. Come to find out, there was.
See, we started out as Holy Moses, and by the time we got to like '96 or '97, after we released the Rock and Roll Forever CD, that's when I found out there was one in Germany.
Oh, wow. So you had the same thing happen.
Well, we had to change the name.
Well, back in them days, I guess it happened a lot, probably, right?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
So, well, I heard something not long ago on Eddie Trunk. They were talking about Skid Row. Mm-hmm. There was actually, Skid Row actually had to purchase the name Skid Row because it was already taken, and it was taken by somebody that was pretty famous. You remember?
I remember
you
hearing about
rock
that.
and roll trivia.
I'm not.
There's a famous guitar player somewhere in England or something had a band called Skid Row. And he actually sold the name back to Skid Row.
Wow.
That's the Skid Row that everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Sebastian Bach.
I heard there was an Iron Maiden before Iron Maiden.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did they have to buy that name?
I don't know. I don't know the story.
I think, now that you mention it, I think that, and maybe even something with Judas Priest too, that there was an ex-band member that had the name Judas Priest. Took it with him, but then they stole it back. Or something.
That sounds about right.
Well, like I said, back in the days before internet.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, everybody used to mail their own name back to them in a sealed letter to say they had the copyright first.
Really?
Yeah.
So they'd have the postmark proof. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way we did it back in the old days.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how many? Do you have any of those old bands?
No. That man, some of that stuff it was scary.
Let's talk about it. What was your first band?
Oh gosh, I guess it'd be Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. Now, what kind of band was that?
Oh, we played Bon Jovi and just all the glam crap you could think of.
Right. Is there any pictures of you?
No. Never. No, I got fired from a band because I wouldn't wear spandex.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
tease my hair.
What year was that?
Oh gosh, that was in Abma way back.
Cottonville.
Yeah. True metal from Cottonville when only the cows can hear it.
Holy cow. Wayne, what about you, Ross?
I think my first band was the Holy Moses thing, but that was like 90 or 91. It's before we jammed the first time.
Right.
We were playing the same Sabbath.
So was that your first time you'd ever performed in public singing, or?
No, but as far as in a band like that, we played over at the old Fargo's over in Kannapolis.
Oh, wow.
That's forever ago.
Yeah. So when was the first time you actually sang in public? Church singer, or just a talent show at school, or just?
Well, it could have been. I don't think I ever sang in school.
No, that was Norman there. I think he sang in all the school stuff.
Yeah, Norman and I can't remember the other fellow's name.
Ron, what about did you pick up your first real 6-string at the Five and Dime or what?
No, actually, first time I played.
Market? Yeah, I know you're a big flea market.
First time I played guitar actually was probably in the 4th grade at, South School. I remember we had this old country guy come in teaching everybody guitar, and I remember I picked it up. And
South Iredale or
no, this is South School way back in Mooresville.
South Elementary,
where the First Baptist is now.
Oh, the old one.
Yeah,
we all.
I remember I picked it up. Now he showed me how to play a D chord, and part of the ceiling fell down. So I could,
I don't know if you guys know, but I grew up in Mooresville.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually till 85. I moved to Statesville. I went to South Elementary.
Oh yeah, we grew up in Mooresville. Everybody knew who you were, and you was in trouble before you got home.
6,000 people in Mooresville. Yeah, everybody knew everybody. What year? How old are you? You don't care.
Yeah, I'm 55.
50, so you're probably about
about the same.
So, yeah, I'm 5 years. So I was in. You were probably in junior high by the time when I was in South, right? Did you go to Mooresville Junior High?
No, I went to South.
South area.
Yeah.
Oh, what about middle school?
Brawley.
Brawley. Okay. Yeah. I was a Red Imp.
Oh yeah.
The Mooresville.
Yes.
We
were all Red Imps.
Was you a Red Imp too?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh yeah, I remember getting paddled in front of everybody for walking along like our principal had a bad leg.
I see you made fun of.
Right behind him like a dummy.
Back in them days, you got to paddle. Didn't
Oh
you?
Lord,
I
yeah.
remember I got to paddle at the junior high a few times. Yeah. I think the lesbian gym teacher got me.
Oh no,
she was bigger than most men. She wore my butt out with that paddle. Had holes in it, But hey, it straightened me out. So I know there's a few kids that could use a paddling right now. Right?
Absolutely.
You guys got kids? No. I know Ron's got.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I have one.
One daughter or son?
Daughter. I stopped with one.
Stopped having, yeah.
I seen how Ron was doing.
Are you married now?
Nah, not technically. No.
Me neither.
Almost.
Right,
Been engaged forever.
So Killer Khan's single, huh?
Oh,
come on. There's a lot of ladies down there, taps, man.
Lord.
Yeah,
I've seen some videos.
There's some talent there.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you find what kind of percentage did you find at a Killer Khan show? I mean, I know you guys are definitely.
Oh, they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful.
Sure, there's 8 guys.
The longer the night goes.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a reason alcohol is popular.
Yeah, that's true, man. The girls like the musicians.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. They don't go. I never get any action with the DJ business. When I first met my wife, she's like, "Oh, you're a DJ. You got all the girls." I'm like, "Nah. You got to pick up that instrument or that microphone and sing before you got to play your own music, not somebody else's, evidently, because it doesn't work for me." I actually did a band thing. Talk about that. I try to be one of y'all.
What'd you do?
I was horrible. Yeah. Ask Jody sometime.
No, really?
Yeah. Jody was actually in the band. So,
so Jody's an alien. He don't count.
6 degrees of separation.
Nobody can remember all that.
Yeah. Jody's been in quite a few bands.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, really is.
Jody could do anything. He really can. He's made a pretty decent living with the Catalinas, which Catalinas, and then you're the. You guys are like
we're the side piece.
You're the side.
We're the dark side.
But hey, I know Jody personally, and I know he probably leans more towards what you.
Oh Lord, yeah,
of course.
It's always a money thing,
right? But you gotta pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I mean, I don't like playing the damn chicken dance.
Yeah,
I can't go and play, Led Zeppelin. Well, I could probably maybe get a song here and there, but I couldn't go in and play. Who am I looking for? I'm thinking some death metal. I can't go in and play heavy metal for at a wedding. So, but there's been a few parties I've been able to step in. Like you said, after the alcohol kicks in.
Oh yeah,
play some Metallica.
Well, there's always those standards you can throw in there. Everybody loves.
Yeah. And while we're talking about that, make sure you listen to Statesvegas Radio. I got to throw the plug.
Promote yourself. Promote it.
Because we do have a We Play It All playlist where we do actually play it all. And you might hear anything from... God, I had Erosion of Conformity on there today, man. I was kind of surprised about that. But I forgot I put it on there. Docking, and then the next minute you might hear...
Corrosion got me thinking about John Vay.
Yeah. You might hear some...
Yeah, we went through a million. How many songs we have in there set back then? About 65 or 70 or something like that.
Wow. I think so.
It was nuts, man.
We had remember all that.
It's a good question.
What about you? Now you're a vocalist. How do you just a natural when it comes to the lyrics?
Talking about writing them?
Well, no, remembering them because we're on that subject.
Well, sometimes I use numbers.
Really?
Yeah. Just numbers and.
See, that was one of the things that I had problems with.
But sometimes I forget the numbers.
I couldn't remember the lyrics. I'd have them written down on a piece of paper, and I'm like, I never forget we were playing Tucker's, and I had my lyrics on the floor. It's like, and I didn't really need them, but it was more of a comfort thing. But I'll never forget the guitar player went into a solo and took it, and his foot hit the lyrics and slid them all out. And I remember just going into full on panic mode because this is like the second time I'd ever played, or sang in front of anybody. My family had never even heard me. So I just remember being like, oh. But now I'm sure if I'd have me an iPad with the teleprompter thing might be a good friend. But you never had to do anything.
But yeah, I have heard that Alfred has to do that for breaking the law. Now.
Breaking the law, really? Can't remember that one.
Teleprompter.
That's not the one I would.
No, you wouldn't think, but you never know.
Well, it's probably one that he doesn't listen to much, I would say.
I know we saw him with Deep Purple a while back. It's recent, and that was a great show. I mean, it's amazing. Those two guys, they got to be close to 70 on it.
Gillen and
I mean, they still could. I mean, they couldn't hit the incredible highs by no means.
Well, they tuned down too, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I'm telling you, they sounded good. They really did.
When they tune down a D like that, it just makes everything sound better, I think.
Yeah. So that would definitely. I don't know many people that can hit those high notes. Well, you're still pretty good. Get up there pretty good. Right?
Well, sometimes.
Have you lost anything in the?
I don't even. He was showing off in practice the other day. It sounded pretty good. I can tell he's been working it. That's for sure.
Right. I don't know if I lost anything.
Well, his age. I know I couldn't do anything. I wasn't that good at it then, but now I don't even think about trying.
I didn't try to do any screaming or anything back then at all. But it's Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I got so excited I yanked my cord out. But I mean, you're singing Ozzy, so you're getting up there. I mean, right? I mean,
you're
hitting notes that Ozzy probably can't hit right now. Right?
Yeah, he can't.
Yeah, I know I've heard some horrors.
Oh, there is a reason some songs are put at the end. That's for sure.
Right. Blow it all out.
Yeah, he's lost a few steps as far as the.
Now, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. You're definitely an Ozzy guy. So I mean, I don't even have to ask who influenced vocally, songwriting. You'll be the first to admit that Ozzy's probably your number one influence.
Yeah, right? Ozzy and Robert Plant.
Robert Plant too.
Yeah, Plant was amazing.
I thought you were going to say Halford
and Ian Gillan, probably.
Ian Gillan.
Well, that was the big three back then.
Yeah, I mean,
so much power.
I was never. I guess I missed the Deep Purple thing. I mean, I guess maybe my demographic just
we only had one album, and that was the Space Truck and Smoke on the Water.
Right,
whatever. I can't remember the name of it. But.
How long did it take you to learn? After you learn that D chord to learn Smoke on the Water?
Not long. That's one of the first bands I seen at the actual gym in Mooresville, the War Memorial. They had a band in there. They sit there and played that song probably 15 times in a row.
War Memorial. Yeah,
I remember practicing the bottom of that thing by the guy. I thought they were the biggest rock stars in the world.
I can actually play. So yeah, when I bought a guitar one time when I was in the military, and the first thing somebody showed me was
Oh yeah.
I don't think I was playing it right, but it sounded like similar to it. So yeah, but I think that's whatever you can. What about concerts? You were talking about. What was your very first rock concert?
My very first one. My buddy Jim, he got me started on guitar. He, taught me what a real guitar was, and chords and stuff like that. But he took me to go see it was Point Blank, Molly Hatchet, and AC/DC with Bon Scott.
Wow, so you got to see Bon Scott.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, now give me goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah, what tour was that?
Oh gosh,
was that the last one?
I'm not even sure. I know it was we went to go see Molly Hatchet, and I didn't pay AC/DC no attention, and they come out and just hammered us.
Really? Molly
I mean, I'm a huge Molly Hatchet fan.
Really?
I've played a bunch of Southern rock stuff over the years.
Right. Well, being from North Carolina.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, after watching them guys go at it, they just took Skinner and turned it into acid rock for me. You know, I couldn't believe how good they were.
I can't imagine.
I mean, I'm sitting there right, you know,
and
20 feet away from them, watching them just blaze.
The old Charlotte Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
The old one? Yeah. That's where I went to. My first one was, speaking of blowing somebody off the stage, it was 38 Special.
Oh.
And Bon Jovi and man, it was like,
that's not good.
See you later. I feel bad for the 38 Special guys, which at the time, it was probably 2 months after Slippery When Wet. And so they were hot, man. Definitely.
Oh, you talking about the opening band blowing somebody away? I got to see Sabotage open up for it was Megadeth and Dio, and Sabotage wiped the floor with them. It was amazing. They come out. Oh man, it was funny because Dio come out.
It was Dio's solo band.
Yeah, it was when he had Greg Giuffria playing with him, or Sacred Heart tour or something like that. And I remember because he come out and had this stupid looking dragon up there, and he was supposed to put out a flame, and it kept doing a little puff of smoke, and he kept trying to stab it with a sword. You know,
Dio, yeah. Yeah, I heard he was into some of that theatrical.
It was awesome.
I actually got to see Sabotage, and a crazy thing was it was the week before the car wreck.
Wow.
Before the guy died. Matter of fact, Jody was there. It was at Rockies in Charlotte.
Right, he told me about that.
Great show, man. It was. And I wasn't a huge Sabotage guy, but I remember what you said, just being like,
oh yeah,
these guys are good. And it's so sad because the week later, car player,
Chris Oliva,
got killed in a car wreck.
Yeah, my buddy,
that was pretty much the end of him, I think.
Yeah, my buddy Paul Cocker got me into him. I was playing all this commercial crap, and he'd get drunk, come slamming in the house with a half gallon of the vodka Raisin Cane, and this is the future. And he'd throw my record out the window and put that on.
Taylor David says, "What's up, Ron? You know Taylor David?"
Oh yeah, Dave's the man. He can pick.
Shout out! Oh, another fellow guitar.
Oh
player.
yeah, I've known Dave a while. He's been collecting guitars here lately.
Really? How many guitars do you have?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
Are you a collector?
It kind of floats. I got it. I would say 17 probably.
Play Jackson? I'm guessing.
I do. I mean, that is one of my favorites. Yeah. I've got my old '86 Charvel I still use.
Charvel.
Yeah, but that's back from way back. I've seen a lot of shows, and my son Ron Jr. played it a lot.
Is that the Eddie Van Halen? Is that why you?
No, it's just down reliable music. That was one of the NAMM show. It was one of the NAMM show guitars they brought back. No, it was expensive for the time. I remember it was almost $700 back in '86. You know that for me that was a fortune. You know? But had to have it, you know.
But now you play Jackson.
I've actually got a Sully now from Red Dragon Guitars. So,
that's right. I remember you posted something on Facebook about that.
I've played a lot of stuff from NAMM, and I never really thought that much about it till I actually got one, and now I see what the big thing is about it.
So you've been to a NAMM?
I've been to 3. Yeah.
I went to 1.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I would love to go back, man. I told the story when Daryl Harwood was in here. Derek Morgan, guitar virtuoso himself, he was friends with Chip, and Chip gave passes.
Cool.
But at the time, pre-internet, whatever.
Yeah,
we had to have IDs because I was going as Chip Coleman, and you had to go. You go. So we actually made fake North Carolina driver's licenses, and for a weekend I was Chip Coleman.
Did they call you Chip all weekend?
I don't know what they called me. Honestly, I didn't give a shit. I was like, I was in heaven, And this was I think '92, so it was like right after the grunge thing had kind of kicked in.
Right,
the '80s guys were kind of pouting a little bit around NAMM, but there was a lot of them there because they didn't have anything else to do. And man, we got to meet some crazy. Man, we sit in a room with Paul Gilbert, did a clinic. I mean, the funniest story I'll ever tell is it's almost sad, but I'm glad to see the guy made it come back. I have a picture of me and Derek with Kip Winger, and at the time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was pretty much Beavis and Butthead.
Right before he killed him.
Right. And I just remember we walked up to him. He was like, "Hey, Kip, how's it going?" And I remember him being short, and we were talking a little bit. And it was like, "Well, it was nice meeting you, man." And we went to walk off, and the dude started following us. And he's like, "Where are you guys going?" Like he wanted to hang out with us. And we were like, I remember me and Derek looking at each other like, "Kip Winger wants to chill with us," but we were like, "Nah."
I have 2 fans.
we were like, nah, let's ditch.
I'm not gonna let them go.
And I'm telling people, would you ever imagine you'd be trying to ditch Kip Winger, back in the 80s?
That's kind of crazy.
So, maybe if Red would have been with him, but
no, I tell everybody, if you're a musician of any sort, if you get a chance to go to a NAMM, go. It is amazing.
Well, I've heard now. I think they kind of opened it up where you don't have to be a dealer to get in. You can kind of.
I think there's one day you can go out of the 4.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking that's the way. I got lucky. We went. My son actually, Ron Jr. He was in a guitar contest, best in shred stuff, and he won 2 rounds in Charlotte and went to Nashville, won a round, and Sam Ash actually flew us out.
Wow.
Which was kind of 18-year-old son taking me to Vegas, Anaheim, whatever.
I would love to get back there. I definitely need to put that on my list of things to do because that was like I said 92. So the technology. I remember going to a couple clinics. I remember Derek Trucks playing, and he was like 12.
Right.
I mean, he was a kid, and they were like child prodigy, Derek Trucks. And I never forgot that name because I was so impressed by him. And next thing I know, he's amazing for the Allman Brothers. And I was like, whoa, the kid made it. And then you you're just walking around and you meet guys. It's insane. They're just walking there, you're standing there for your heroes. Now there was. We didn't get to see. I remember there was some talk of Tommy Lee being around, but there were certain ones that were a little bigger still that we didn't get to mingle with.
Yeah, I remember Tommy Lee was there, but he had a security force with him. Right. You couldn't get nowhere close to him.
Yeah, that's kind of the way the bigger ones were. But a lot of the '80s guys, the smaller bands like Andy Timmons, different guys like that weren't were smaller bands like Dangers and the Wingers and all those kind of guys. And Paul Gilbert was.
He's amazing.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, I remember we went up there and we had the big metal DJ. He did the contest in the L.A. at the Sam Ash in L.A. and we had like cameras and all kind of stuff out. There was big boards out in the parking lot where people could hang out. And that's the first time I ever seen my son get nervous on stage. Oh yeah, well, it was some pressure right there.
That was the beginning of my DJ career. That was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to go so bad was to learn the business and I'd like to go back and see some of that fancy stuff. Anyway, enough of that. We left out poor Wayne over here. What was your first concert? I don't think we ever got to that, did we?
My first one.
Yeah, the very first.
First rock concert was.
No, you got to tell us first one. Because if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Mandigo. Did you remember his first concert? We did it at one of our shows. Oh God, it wasn't anything close to metal. Yeah, it was Conway Twitty. Yeah, a couple of others. But he did get to see Original Kiss, so I'm envious there.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that.
He did get to see that in later years. But yeah, his first concert was like something just What you got for us? Can you top Conway?
3 Dog Night.
Woo! There we go.
Pretty close.
Well, yeah, that's still.
You'd have been my dad's hero.
I can see that. 3 Dog Night was one of the biggest bands in the world.
They were
a couple of years anyway. Yeah,
but the first metal show was it was either Heaven and Hell tour or Back in Black. I can't remember.
Really?
It was 80. So I can't remember which one it was.
Unfortunately, I was kind of a sheltered child. Mama said no to a lot of concerts, especially that stuff. The long-haired evil guys. I didn't get to go.
When I first started going, I went camping and then I went to a show. That's what I told my dad anyway. Going camping, Dad.
I remember I had a good neighbor that he actually introduced me to a lot of. He introduced me to Iron Maiden, Priest, really Maiden especially. I thought,
yeah, we played a bunch of that.
But he was going to 1984 band in '84, and
wow,
and I was 14.
Oh man, that would have been incredible.
Oh, I know. I mean, to this day, that was it. That was it for David Lee Roth. I mean, he was gone, except if you want to call what he's doing now.
Yeah,
you can watch the US Festival.
Yeah, that's about what I. Well, hey, I'll tell you, I love watching concerts. I recommend it to anybody. Especially ticket prices these days. I hate to even bring this up. But one of the bigger disappointments of my adult life happened this year, and it was the Metallica.
Yeah, I just can't do it no more.
Yeah, and I just, I was mad at myself for going, and not just that. It was, I don't know. I can't. It's hard to say anything bad. It was just disappointing. It just really was, and And I had actually had a chance to see Iron Maiden as well, but my thoughts were, let me, and I kind of cheated, and but I'm glad now I did, because I went and looked at their set list on YouTube. Hey, before you pay $500 to go see a band, look up that set list, because you don't want to go and be disappointed. That's what happened to me in Metallica. And I can't blame Metallica for doing what they did. I mean, they played the favorites. They played 8% of the Black Album, but
my favorite is the tape, the Dave Mustaine tape.
Yeah,
that is the best.
Dave is my hero.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually seen. That was a good concert, but yeah, I didn't go see the Iron Maiden because of the set list, and I don't regret it. Now the next one, that's the set list I wanted the last time, so I would actually kind of like to go to that one, but I still don't.
It was $500 a ticket last year.
That was for the Carnival. What was that name? They did like 3 songs, 3 classics. That show.
Oh, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, from the set list I saw, they did "Wasted Years." They did.
They did more than that.
See, somebody else told me that too.
Well, they do
that. The set list I saw, it was 75% of the new album. And they basically had said, this ain't a greatest hits tour.
Right.
They did about
this one
about half.
Really?
It was at least half.
See, I saw like 3 songs on that. I didn't see. It was "Wasted Years" and "Trooper" and one other one.
They posted.
It was like "No Run to the Hill." No, I mean, just so many. I was like, well,
they posted some bad information.
You think so?
It was. It
was actually the concert, and it had in the thing the.
If it was 18 songs that they did at least 12 that I knew.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the first CD you put out, Wayne? I mean, you've been doing this a long time.
The first recording was back in 1992.
I remember a cassette tape you had something on it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was. I don't think we had a name for it. It could have been Holy Moses.
That was the Holy Moses, right?
Yeah.
And you did a demo tape.
Yeah, we did that, and then a Holy Moses 2. Then a Holy Moses CD.
The blank album, the Holy Moses. every band does that.
No, we didn't do
Holy
that.
Moses Live.
No, we didn't do that. Then in '96, that's when we did the name change, and it's Rock and Roll Forever CD. Yeah.
Tell Ron to bring me his latest album. There you go. Got a customer right there.
Oh, look out.
Charge him double. No. So let's get back. Let's get up to currently. Now, we've talked about everybody's past. We got to know everybody. Right. And I don't know why I just like hearing people's first concerts and all that stuff. But the Global Killer, that album, was it kind of like the White Snake album where it was almost, they took some of the old songs and put on the like some of those songs on the Global Killer, weren't they some songs from your past, like
they were
that you re-recorded for the?
There was one on there that I re-recorded.
Oh, just one.
Okay. Yeah, just one, and then about half of the album was songs we never used, and then the other half were new ones. So it was kind of a mixture, but all the ones on this new CD, the Bedeviled CDs, are all new.
This, and what's it called again? Say it.
Bedeviled.
Bedeviled.
Right.
Where'd that name come from?
Well, we were Blue Devils, Red Imps.
Hey, there you go. I didn't even think about it. Cool. So do you have a Blue Devil on the back?
No, it's going to be a little red.
Well, you're wearing a Carolina hat, man.
Go Heels.
Well, I'm a contradiction.
Oh, okay.
Or a conflict with myself.
Mm-hmm. Right. We'll see what they do. That's all I'm going to say. Don't kill me. Don't throw your water bottle at me.
I'll sell you a Nike shoe.
I'm not a hater. Matter of fact,
I love basketball.
We were talking about not commenting on politics on Facebook, leaving out.
Right.
Basketball's the same thing to me. I like Duke, but I'm not going on there and saying. And matter of fact, it was so funny because I'd seen so many before the first Carolina Duke game. So many posts of. I mean, there was a lot of Carolina fans talking trash, and I thought to myself, we post why are you guys whining before you even lose or something like that? Right. And I said, no, don't let me do it. And sure enough, the first 30 seconds of the game it's over. I'm like, no, this is, thank goodness I didn't stick my.
Oh, it can't get worse for you. My girl Alicia, she's a huge Duke fan, has been forever.
Oh,
and her girl just got a full ride to Carolina Medical, and she's been there going to school while this has been going on.
well, I've got a nephew who's a senior at Carolina, so, but you know, he knew when
nothing like your daughter torturing you, right?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, the funniest thing I seen about it was, you know, they on Facebook they posted Nike just fired the 8-year-old kid that sold his shoe.
The sad thing is that's probably true. Let's before we go too far, man, let's listen to some music. I got a couple songs of you guys, and do we want to do The Last Train to Rio, or do we want to go ahead and throw a new one in here?
Whichever way you want to do it.
Let's man, it's your show, man. We're just hanging out with you.
I want you guys to. Let's play The Last Train to Rio. This was the one that we were talking about earlier in the show. It's 3 million Facebook hits.
Right.
Brazil loves it.
Brazil. Yo, we're big in Brazil, dude.
Yeah. I bet Pablo's listening. My buddy Pablo Fideli, he can play.
Now, do you get hit up from any promoters in Brazil to come play?
No, I hadn't. That would be a great thing to do. I'd love to see Brazil because I'm a rock hound anyway. I like going down there and go emerald mining, you know.
We're talking Brazil, and he's talking about rock.
Well, they make your way out.
I was going to say, I think Brazil might be famous for a little something else. You know?
No, yeah.
Just saying. Oh, you said you had a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
she's got a lot of rocks. You might hit me with one.
We'll stick with the rock story.
Right. Rocks and a slingshot.
Yeah.
Let's get this Killer Khan Last Train to Rio playing. We'll be back with you guys in a second. All right, that was Last Train to Rio. That's a jamming tune, man. Now, tell us a little bit about the writing process. Are you all lyrics? Is it a joint effort for music and lyrics, or you do both? I know you play guitar too, right?
Right.
So,
the lyric part is, it's just you come up with an idea, you know. And you
but what's first? Is it the riff? Is it the melody? Or is it the idea for the story of the lyrics?
Or the guitar riff's first.
Guitar riff. Well, yeah. I know everybody's got something different.
Right. You know, and then when you start writing the thing, you know, then you try to plan around a theme, right. You know. There you go. There you go. I can hear myself.
It's just the monitor.
But, yeah, you just come up with a good theme, you know, and it was basically...
so the guitar riffs first, and
right.
Just kind of go. Now, Ron responsible for some of those riffs, or is it?
Well, on Global Killers, I'm sure that was all Wayne there. But on this last one, we've took a couple of stuff that I've been playing for, probably 30 years, you know, and this stuff I'd play when in between songs, goofing around, and he'd do stuff with them, you know, just rearrange them.
Record any of those riffs, or are they just in your head?
I mean, I got some records. My buddy Zeke, he's got a bunch of them where me and Brian and him used to.
Ezekiel.
Yep,
yeah.
You know Zeke. Yeah, he's got a record of a bunch of original stuff we were trying to put together back when the Judas Priest stuff. You know,
right.
we did a bunch of covers, and we tried to do some originals too.
Now we were talking during the song, and you basically was telling me that you guys did a battle of the bands back in 2001, right?
Yeah, it was June 18th, 2001. Ron, somebody videotaped that show.
Really?
And
but no spandex, right?
No.
But 2001, I was gonna say, is that grunge? Did you have your flannel shirts and jeans on?
Anyway, it was the Legacy Fest. It was a club called Legacy. They were opening. They did a 30-band battle of the bands.
30 bands.
Well, I never saw 30.
No, I didn't either.
It's supposed to be 30. Yeah.
But if they were there, they fell through the flatbed truck that we had to stand on.
So
it was the rottenest board you ever seen on a flatbed trailer. I mean, you could just tell.
They got it for a good price, man.
Yeah, we were just looking down at the boards, you know.
Trying not to fall through.
Yeah, you didn't want to make one bad step.
So you won the Battle of the Bands,
right?
And then shortly after that, the band disbanded, and you guys
it just I don't know why.
Well, you know, it always happens with.
But I started a club and all this back in the.
You started a club,
right? It was Killian's Nightlife down in Mooresville.
Oh, so that was you? Yeah, I remember Killian's. That was that where 5 o'clock Charlie's? Where was that in Mooresville?
Well, 5 o'clock Charlie's is on the other end of town.
Killian's, where was it? Like in
down
Timber Road.
Yeah. I never went there, but I heard about that place. So it wasn't like in a retail district. It was kind of like a building out in the middle of.
Yeah, we were there at the Duke Power substation.
Right.
It was a great place for the cops to sit there and wait on you.
Right. Yeah.
That pretty much killed the club.
Well, yeah, but I remember hearing about that though. So yeah, I knew that. Yeah, that was out there, kind of like if you go. Out 115 and you cut through.
Yeah, it takes you from 115 to Shears Chapel Road.
Shears Road. Yeah, I grew up on Shears Chapel. It was at the time.
Right.
It's just Shears Road.
Right.
Yeah, I grew up on Shears.
I mean, how many CDs did you record in Nashville?
Oh Lord.
I know you went up there a couple times and used the
studio. Let's go back to the timeline. Was this after the band thing? You did your own thing?
No, this is back in the 90s.
Oh, still in the 90s. Okay.
That was at least 5 or 6 projects there. 1 or 2, nobody will ever hear.
Did you go through the grunge stage?
It wasn't grunge.
Well, tell me, what was it?
We could have thrown some grunge at it.
Country?
No, it was.
You felt true to your.
Yeah,
roots.
There's a couple of them were a little lighter, hard rock, not metal.
How do you classify yourself amongst the metal? There's so many different genres of metal. Would you say you're like melodic rock or what? Kind of, I know it's hard.
That is kind of hard to do, isn't it?
How would you?
We're heavy, but still a lot of feels to it.
You were talking about Sabotage earlier. Same thing where you had some higher vocals, but clean guitars, but not.
Well, like I said, after Paul got me into Sabotage, I studied that hard for a long time, and between that and Randy Rose, and of course I go back to Alvin Lee and 10 Years After and stuff like that. You know, you talking way back that I learned in a lot of the. Motown, played a lot of Motown when I was young.
And Ted Nugent.
So
definitely terrible.
Back in the day, you were doing like a ton of recording. You were a studio guy, right? And
no, that was for the whole decade of the '90s,
right?
Much,
but you liked the studio. You did a lot of
right. Yeah, you go to Nashville and stay there for 2 weeks. And
what did you do in Nashville? That's
how long it took to record the album back then.
But I mean, why did you go to Nashville to record it? Because that's mainly country
Music City.
Well, there's a lot of good studios.
I think down here, Charlotte, Reflections.
Yeah. It was like two.
That was $120 an hour. You can go to Nashville, Tennessee, and record for $40.
Really? Because there were so many more of them, so much competition. I got you.
Right.
So after that, 2001, that show happened. You decided to take a break. You kind of got out of the
15 years.
Really? But were you active at all in the 15? No recording, no nothing. Just straight up cold turkey.
Yeah.
You pulled what is it? Did that to Iggy Lee? Vinnie Vincent.
Oh,
Vinnie Vincent, 20 years, dropped out. You never picked up a guitar. So.
It was kind of crazy. But,
did you just burn out, or you?
I guess. Yeah. Just.
Were you disheartened because you didn't make it? I mean,
well, you had plenty of opportunities to sign a contract, but you want to go live on the street when you get done,
right? Right. Well, there's a lot of guys that did very well, but didn't really. Do well,
right. So it kind of kept it.
You hear those stories.
Independent.
Did you ever have any offers to join other? Be a hired gun per se and come into a band and be a vocalist?
No.
You always wanted to do your own
I did
thing?
get a message from I can't remember the name of it, Down South Records or something like that. You should be burned at the stake. And I didn't forget the name of that record company. And I was watching the Osbournes, and that name was on Jack's.
So wow. Jack Osbourne has it?
I don't know if it was him.
Sharon, probably.
Probably.
Should be burned at
probably
the
just
stake.
put in it. Oh, of course, because you're an Aussie guy. That's why that could be a nasty Sharon Osbourne. Right. She's pretty famous for being a little not too kind. I mean, if you've heard all the stories, I'm a big Andy Trunk guy, of course. And he's always talking about the bad, the deals, the guys who wrote Crazy Train, what's his name?
Bob Daisley.
Bob Daisley. Yeah.
Lee Kerslake. They got dumped on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
She don't want no imitators making money off the house.
And really, it's hard to pull up the originals. It's all remastered now on YouTube. You got to really look for it.
They remaster it so they don't have to pay those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, they took them totally out.
So anyway, you were out for 15 or so years, and what got you back in the game? I mean,
I just out of the blue, I decided, I want to record another album.
Out of nowhere.
And then, and we were in the same band anyway with Jody and
that was John, wasn't it?
Yeah, and John Albee and Jody and then
that was the cover band.
Yeah,
right.
Tribute band.
And about that time, Heaven and Hell Records come in. They wanted to remaster and repackage and sell the Kill Devil Hills that we did in '99.
Right.
They wanted to do that again.
That's what I looked at. Some of the songs on Kill Devil Hills made it to, or was it just the one that made it to the Global Killers?
That one was off of one of those first couple tapes. That I did.
Okay.
So it never.
That's why I was asking that question earlier, because it seemed like I saw some of the Kill Devil Hills. You had a couple. Did you have a video for one of the songs on Kill Devil Hills?
No, but we were thinking about going to Kill Devil Hills and doing one in the ocean.
What about that one with all the horror stuff in it?
The harder stuff.
Horror.
The horror.
The horror stuff.
You put one video out with off Kill Devil Hills.
That's somebody in Belarus or Russia or something put out a video.
I'm telling you, I thought I saw a video.
Yeah, because it was The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Movie, and they were using Kill Devil Hills song for the movie.
The town I lived in Palmdale, California, the guy from that Hills Has Eyes movie lived there. And I'll never forget, I was at this club on the dance floor, and I look over, and that bald-headed guy, you know what I'm talking about? He was out there getting down on the dance floor, and I was just like, I thought, what was in that drink? You know, so.
Oh yeah,
I've got a story for everything.
Be watching him close.
So you're back in the game. You get with Ron. Ron, well, you was already in the tribute band, but that spark you to want to record, go back to your original stuff.
Yeah, we went back. And we did a little writing there for about 8 months, I guess, and then we went. I got Jamie King's number from the Heaven and Hell record guy. Right. Because he would remaster stuff for him or whatever.
And we were getting pretty polished from playing all the stuff. I mean, that huge set list, we were getting pretty good at everything as far as loading down the songs and getting them the way we wanted them. And then he decided to record with Jamie and got Jody to do the drums and asked me if I'd do the solos. And I said, well, that's a big honor for me to go ahead and just go in and just make whatever I wanted to. And then I got two of my sons, Lauren and Ron Jr., to come in, and we all took turns in there, just shredding, just having a good time. Just coming. I mean, I think we had half of them made up, and the rest of them we just improv. Just went crazy.
Now, the success of the Last Train to Rio video, did that kind of catch you off guard? I mean, because you hadn't had that, you hadn't really had that medium to put your music out there back in the 90s.
No, you didn't have the same thing.
Yeah, so
I got the funny story for that one. I remember I played all the songs for Ron Jr., and that's the one song he said he hated, couldn't stand. Really? I said, well, that'll be the hit.
That's usually the way it goes, really. It's usually the song that the band hates that makes the record company says, that's a hit.
That's right. Now you get to play it every night.
Yeah. Well, that was Nirvana. It Smells Like Teen Spirit. They hated it. They wouldn't even play it, I don't think. But
I know it was in the studio, and there's such a long pause where the slide comes in on that song, and I didn't know what to play. I was lost. And Jamie King said, "Try playing some slide," and I was just goofing around, messing around. And that's where it came from. Right. And just playing around, finding something that sounded good.
I like it, and the video too. I think really in this day and time, the video really gets you. I mean, it keeps you listening to the song. You know, a lot of people don't like videos, but that's why we're on Facebook Live right now, because that video, they see these three ugly dudes, and they got to stop and say, "What the hell are these guys doing?" But you hope that they'll stick around and listen to what we're saying, and maybe absorb some of that information, like your new album, like the Apps and Taps show. We really want to push that. March 30th, Saturday night. If anybody's just tuning in, make sure you guys go out to Apps and Taps. It's an amazing venue. If you've never been there, it's world class for this area, and it's only 15 minutes.
I hadn't been there since they redid the stage.
Yeah, I hadn't been there since they made it bigger. But I see the videos all the time. It's amazing.
It's a great venue, and the sound and lighting system, like I said, is good as you'll find anywhere. I mean, I think it's probably better than like Fillmore in Charlotte. I mean, I've been to a couple shows at the Fillmore, and I think they do, which I guess the Fillmore probably the bands bring in their own stuff, but it's pretty fantastic, and JD's doing a good job. You guys are going to be down there doing Killer Con stuff starting the first hour, and then the next hour or hour and a half is going to be Ozzy and Dio. So I know they get a lot of fans down there that like the 80s stuff. They're our age, they're 40s, 50s. They grew up with that stuff. You can't hear it on the radio. All you hear on the radio is crap.
So I think he's got an Ozzy tribute coming in the next week, so there's a lot of pressure.
He's got the Ozzy.
Those guys are super pros. I've seen their videos.
Of Oz, and they do like a whole. I think they're a little more theatrical.
Yeah, they got the whole show.
But I would definitely put your sound up.
I will hammer it out there. That's for sure.
And they don't do Dio either, so I'm sure because it's strictly Ozzy tribute. So to go out and see any band, even try Dio, in my opinion.
Well, the name of the Dio Ozzy thing is the Holy Diver of a Madman.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So if you ever see that, you know what it is.
Holy Diver. So if you don't do so you think you're eventually going to do shows under both monikers? You're going to do some Killer Con only shows and some Holy Diver. That's pretty long. Holy Diver of a Madman. Do you have that intention?
All right, it depends on how much time you have.
Well, I'm just thinking, I know JD's good friends, and he's giving you that time. But there's a lot of, you find it pretty hard to get venues to play at with the originals these days. So I'm sure the Ozzy thing would probably be easier to get booked with, just tribute thing.
Oh, yeah.
But God bless JD for bringing some original music in.
JD's always been the metalhead, that's for sure.
Yeah, and JD likes it. So, but he tapped into the great market. I mean, we we love that. We're the people that spend money. You know, these millennials, these kids. They go to the club. They're smuggling in their airplane bottles. They're and their pistol. You know, I mean,
right?
You know, us old dudes, man, we just want to go have fun. We want to do a little head banging. So, right? I mean, that's what I'm all about. You know, I mean, I've seen TK and them guys, Black Glass down there.
They're awesome.
They do a little bit of everything. You know, mostly all 80s, really. A few newer ones here and there, But we got the show out of the way. Let's talk about Bedeviled. Is that right? Bedeviled. I got it. You know, I got it because of the Blue Devil thing. I'll remember
absolutely.
That. I'll always remember that now.
So, we just took the Lou
because I was a Blue Devil for 2 years. So, then I was a Raider. I graduated from.
But you went to North.
I graduated from North Ireland, but I grew up in Mooresville. But we moved halfway through my high school year. It's kind of weird because I know people from Mooresville, and I know. Sometimes I get them mixed up, you know. I'm like, where did we go to school at North, or did we go to school at Mooresville? And my Facebook's kind of like that too. I've got a ton of Mooresville people and a ton of Statesville people.
Right.
But I wouldn't regret. I don't regret any of my time anywhere. But you know, I do tell people all the time. It was funny because when I left Mooresville, I was so glad to get out of there and get to Statesville, because at the time Statesville was the shit, you know. Now it's like I got to go back to Mooresville. Mooresville's got apps and taps, you know. So, but Statesville's getting there. We talk JD into spending some money up this way.
He definitely needs to.
It won't be as far a drive, will it?
Nah.
But Bedazzled, you went in the studio with Jamie King again, right?
Right.
And this time you now. Was Jody and Bryce on everything on the first album?
Right.
So it's the same exact lineup as the Global Killer.
On the second album.
But now you said a couple of your sons do some guest spots on there. Are we allowed to talk about that? Or is it...
That was with the Global Killer CD.
Oh, yeah. But they're not. Are they on the new one too?
No, it's all me raising Cain on this one.
Oh, so it's all you, 100%. It's a rhythm and lead. So.
Yeah, there's something going in the improv, a bunch of stuff, and have to go back and relearn it.
Yeah, I bet. So you did, you guys did it all with Jamie. When did all this take place? How long?
It's been going on for about a year.
Wow.
I was last March.
It is amazing how it transforms over time, you know.
Well, my schedule's so busy.
Everybody, you got to work around everybody. Right?
It took us 3 weeks just to lay down the basic tracks and vocals.
Now, do you guys go in and do the vocals one time, or do you go in and play live together in the same room? How's the recording process?
Oh, individual tracking.
I know that's how a lot of bands do it these days.
It's guitar and drum there at the beginning. Just the guitar's a scratch track.
Yeah,
right.
Not unless you want to keep it. Then you get the drums down, and then it's kind of off in the bass and guitar.
Does Jody and Bryce get any writing credits on any of this?
I don't know.
You're not giving them any publishing? You're not giving them.
I like to get some.
Can you make any? Did you talk finances? I mean, we could talk business a little bit.
Right.
With the success of your last one, which with the hits, I'm sure you got some downloads with it, right?
Right.
You get any streaming money? Is it or
it's not that?
What is the iTunes? Well, I've always been curious what the iTunes gives you off of their.
I have no idea.
You don't get any checks in the mail every now and then from
I don't
iTunes?
see a check.
Really? You haven't seen any residuals from
it. That's why tickets are $100 and T-shirts are $45. You know,
but you've sold physical copies of the
right. Well, the internet has kind of made music worthless.
It has. It really has. The streaming, especially, to me is a travesty. It's what the streaming companies have. I mean, what was it? Who was it? The most. Billion streams or something, and the guy made like
$1,700. Peter Frampton.
Well, no, this was a newer something like Gangnam Style or something, some crazy stupid song, but it was streamed like a billion times, and the guy made like $30,000 off of it. And you think if that would have been back in the 80s or 90s with a CD, I mean, the guy would have sold 10 million CDs and be a millionaire, but
it's like Peter Frampton was talking. Is 55 million downloads of "Baby I
Love Your Way."
I love the way, and he got $1,700 out of it.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
That's incredible.
and streaming companies are just giving it away.
And he had his own deal set up. Publish wise.
So most bands these days make merch, I guess.
Yeah,
and physical CDs. If you can sell a few of them, right?
Yeah, all the new bands. I watch my son's bands play all the time, and that's what they do. They always got the merch going.
We got the merch.
Now, if you go to a Dio show, which you were there, we went to the Dio show. Everybody that's a Dio fan are not small and medium people.
Nope.
The merchandise rack thing, that's all it had. Small and medium T-shirt.
And girls ain't buying Dio shirts either. I mean,
we're all like XXX, XX, 5X, and there's nothing.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
That was crazy.
Guys, we're running a little bit long, man. I didn't realize that we got another show coming up with the Appetite for Discussion show is Waiting in the Wind. We're going to have to cut it a little short, but I want to thank you guys for coming in, man. It was fun, man.
Hey, man, it's good to be
sorry
here.
We get sidetracked on some bullshit every now and then.
We're just having some fun, man.
But we had fun, and hopefully some people out there joined us. And we're going to re-air this again on the radio, so everybody will have another chance to check it out. If you're on Facebook, and Facebook, they view 10 seconds of it, and they go, they go to the kitchen or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So go check out the video on YouTube if you. Most people don't want to see us, probably. But if you want to listen to our goofy conversation and learn something about these guys, I hope we learned something about you guys between the Tar Heel stories and my crazy stuff that I get sidetracked on. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in, and check them out. March 30th, Saturday night, Apps and Taps. What time are you going?
9:40.
9:40, late. Make that sticker money for you.
Let them get buzzed up and then come in here.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Hey, that's right. Support local metal.
Just as long as you guys aren't the drunkest.
Oh no. We don't want to hear that.
Is that a bad thing?
No, that's not good.
Some people play better.
No, not
me. They just hear it better.
Yeah,
they think they're better. They think they're better. But anyway, and check out you got some merch down there. You got physical copies of the CD down there.
We won't have any of the Bedeviled, but we got plenty Global Killers and
some Global
Rock and Roll Forevers.
And then we'll be glad to share. Let me know when you guys are get the Bedeviled comes out, and we'll try to share that.
You still got some of those shirts left, don't you?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of shirts.
We'll definitely share when the Bedeviled come back. Maybe even have you guys back in.
Okay.
We're going to end the show with one of the tracks off of that, and we decide on 11, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of the track?
This one is Stories Taken to the Grave.
Stories Taken to the Grave.
Love it song.
This is your favorite?
Yeah, it is.
This is the single.
First one and the last one was just amazing. I love it.
Cool.
Too cool.
Well, here it is. Once again, thank you guys. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you having us on, man.
Checking us out, and thank you for listening to
Minutes, years to days, my voice crystal ball is clear as the clear blue